Broadcasting Company. Now in its 7th decade of bringing you baseball's memories. Baseball's milestones. Baseball's majesty. And baseball's magical moments. NBC Sports proudly presents the Major League Baseball Game of the Week. Today from Shea Stadium, it's the Montreal Expos versus the New York Mets. The Game of the Week is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. Full filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. By Mitsubishi Motors. Experience the sensation of the full line of new cars and trucks from Mitsubishi. By Armor All. It's the finishing touch every time you wash your car. And by Delta Airlines. Delta gets you there with care.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the NBC Game of the Week. 1986, the game was played August the 2nd of 1986. Of course, we're not quite into August yet here in 2022, but we're trying to make our way there. And this is Statis Pro. It is the Statis Pro turn in the rotation to get that going. Next week, we'll be back to inside pitch. It will be the Los Angeles Dodgers visiting the Cincinnati Reds from Cincinnati Riverfront Stadium. That'll be next week on inside pitch, but this week we've got Statis Pro. Now let me get, now I've got everything lined up here, let me get things that may need to get into place. Make sure the board is visible. It's the first time I've done a Statis Pro game from up here in the man cave, so I've got to readjust everything. It's a little bit late getting started. I was trying to get some chores done around the house before I started this, so I wouldn't have them hanging over my head. Good afternoon, Robert and Tim, Clee baseball fan, RJL Network. He just had an exciting game in '61. I guess you call it coffee with RJL on Saturday morning. Good morning, DJ John. How are you? Not exactly glamour pitching matchup. As I said, it's Bob Sebra for the Expos. He is a 2.7, and Aguilera is a 2.6. I actually did not look it up to see who won this game in real life, and not that it really matters because we're just going to replay this. And the whole gist of this is not a replay per se. It's just to kind of get you back in the mood when the days when the only game you saw was on Saturday afternoon on the NBC Game of the Week. That's kind of, you know, the thing I'm going for in this particular situation. All right. No dice in this one. I know some people do play Statis Pro with dice. They use like a hybrid or something with dice, but I prefer to use the fast action cards and play the game the way it was done. Hello, Kenyon. How are you? Good to see you. Let's see. I might need to pull this down just a touch more to make sure those fast action cards will fit. Or am I going the wrong way? Check that. I need to go up, not down. Not bad. Okay, so I think everything fits in there now. You see the starting lineups for both teams, the benches for both teams. The Mets are actually carrying an extra bench player. They're carrying 6, whereas the Expos only carrying 5. But the Expos have 5 available bullpen arms, where the Mets only have 4. They do have Richard Anderson, but he started 3 games ago, so I guess technically he could pitch in a pinch if they run out of pitchers, but I didn't list him there because he's more of an emergency pitcher. So I went with the standard 4 relievers that the Mets are both, most known for. All right, so we have the Mets and the Expos NBC Game of the Week. We're from Shea Stadium, but of course in basic Statis Pro there is no, or are no ballpark effects, to really worry about. But if you want to get in the mood, there you go. There's the History Maker baseball picture of Shea Stadium. You can kind of get yourself in the mood there if you like. It's up to you. Okay, I think we're about ready to go with getting through all those preambles. I don't want to go too long because I know RJL has a trip to make to see the Marlins play the Mets. And I'm assuming, RJL, when you go to those games in person, I'm assuming you keep score at the games. I'm assuming you do. I've heard it's not a very good stadium to watch a baseball game from. I don't know. Of course, I've never been there, so maybe you can let us know if it is or it isn't. But and I think, if I remember correctly, Carrasco is pitching for the Mets tonight. I don't know. It was TBD for the Marlins. I don't know if they came up with somebody else or announced a starter or not. But I think Carlos Carrasco is the starter for the Mets tonight, if I read it correctly last night. All right. Looks like we're ready to go. On the mound is Rick Aguilera. He is a 2.6. His SR rating is a 13. So we have him there. And we will get this game underway. The leading things off will be the shortstop, Tim Foley, or actually Tom Foley, not to be confused with Tim Foley of the Pirates. This is Tom Foley. We don't want any tomfoolery. It's a trip. Pain in the butt. Okay, that's understandable. I'm glad you like the ballpark. All right. So I'm guessing, I was going to try to lift these cards up each at bat, but I think it's better probably just to leave them on the thing here. Let me see something real quick before I get started and make sure. See if I need to do anything else with this. 720 is as good as I'm going to get on live. So I'm sure RJL will have a couple of adult beverages for all of us, but they still might be able. Actually, the scorecard might actually look a little bit more interesting after a few beverages. You never know. There was an old adage that Phil Rizzuto used to put on his score sheet. He had DSI on the score sheet, and people asked him what in the heck was DSI. He said didn't see it. So not sure what that meant, but that's what he used to do on his score sheet. If he had turned his head or missed a play, he just put DSI, didn't see it. So I think we're good. I think it's about as good as I'm going to get with the camera. It's only 720 when I do live. It's 1080 when I do recording. So on this phone, it's the best I can do. Maybe one of these days I'll get a webcam and do something, but right now I'm kind of going on the cheap. All right. Oh, you don't keep score. Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. I have a hard time. If I don't keep score when I'm at a game, I kind of get distracted and lose what's going on. I kind of like know what's going on. So, but actually, in modern baseball now with the scoreboards and everything, they kind of tell you what's going on and who did what and what they're, what they did in the last 3 at bats and all that stuff. So they kind of give you all those stats, kind of to, so you don't really have to. You can be more passive when you're watching the game. But the important part is to have fun and see your Mets, and win or lose, just have fun and have a nice time and enjoy yourself. That's what it's all about. Same with this hobby. You can, debate till you're blue in the face what's the best game, whether it's strat, inside pitch, payoff pitch, status pro, app, or whatever. The important thing is that what's good for you, and what's good for you may not be good for somebody else. We're all different. That's what makes the world go round. And as long as you're having fun and enjoying the hobby, that's why it's called a hobby, then that's what's all important. All right, enough of that preamble. Let's get this game rolling. So Rick Aguilera is a 2.6. Tom Foley that steps into the plate. The first flip is a 6, so we're under Rick Aguilera. And the resulting part is a 64, which is in the out range. Foley is a left-handed normal hitter, and that's a ground ball to short, but there is an asterisk, which means we're checking the error rating of the shortstop, and in this case, that is Rafael Santana. He is a number 3 rated error. So if this next check comes up as a 1 to 3, then he will commit the error. If not, he'll make the play. It's a 4 to 10, so he just missed it, but he did make the play, and there's one away. So nice play by Santana. He avoids the error. So 1 down, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Mitch Webster. And I'll try to keep up with the chat, but once I get going in these games, sometimes I get into the game so much I forget to look over. I do have to make like a 90-degree turn with my head, and that takes me away from the microphone. And so I'll check once in a while. The important part is that you guys are having fun chatting and spending part of your Saturday with me, which I certainly appreciate. Mitch Webster, switch hitter, coming up against Aguilera. We get a 7, so we're under Mitch Webster this time. And anything 35 or less, he will get a hit. It's a 47, though. 47's in the out range. He's a switch hitter, normal power, so we check the result. And on this result, switch normal is a ground ball to second. But again, the asterisk is there. And if you look at Wally Backman, he is also a 3 error rating. So we'll check to see if Backman makes the error. He does not. It's 2 down. So 2 ground ball outs for Aguilera, and he's off to a good start. Hey, Jay Doble. Nice to see you. That's a new name I haven't recognized in a while. Yeah, Status Pro is a fun game. I don't know anything about the football game, so I can't give you anything about that because I've never played it. I grew up on Status Pro baseball before I even knew about the other baseball games, so this is like the first game I ever played with the fast action cards and all that stuff. But I prefer dice, so that's why I like the other games a little bit better. But once in a while, I don't mind bringing Status Pro out and getting it on the table. Here's Tim Raines, the Rock. 10, and that's before Dwayne Johnson. He was the original Rock. 10 run to Raines. And it's a 25. That could be good for Raines. 25 is a base hit to right field. And since that single came off the batter's card, we need to check to see if the right fielder, Strawberry, makes an error. He does not. But Raines does get a 2-out single. Kind of unusual to see him hitting third. Usually hits leadoff, but in this case, he is hitting third. And actually, I'm going to need to move this because that's right in the way of my base paths. So let's bring this back over here. And we'll get Tim Raines out there on first base. And of course, he's an OBRA and a speed of A. So with 2 outs and a runner at first, prime time. Hello, Phantomatic. How are you doing? Prime time for a potential stolen base chance to get Raines into scoring position. The stolen base chart is up in the upper left-hand corner. I can't show everything on camera. It's out of range here, but I will let you know what it says. We flip one fast action card, check the random number, compare it against what's up there. It could be against the speed of the runner, it could be against the throwing arm of the catcher. It could be a lot of different factors. The catcher, Gary Carter, is a TA, which is the best you can have as a throwing arm. So we'll see if that comes into play as well. Flip the random number. It is a 65. 65 says shortstop bobbles throw, runner safe, error, no stolen bases given. So how about that? Error on... And I forgot to lower Aguilera when he gave up the hit, so he's down there. No stolen base. It is an error on the throw. Not on the throw, but on the catch, rather. Carter put a pill down there, but for some reason Rafael Santana couldn't handle it. Raines is safe. He does not get credit for stolen base, according to the chart. So he's just there at second base. So Raines is in scoring position with 2 outs for the Hawk, Andre Dawson. And Aguilera in early difficulties trying to get out of it. Here is the pitch to the Hawk. It's a 3, so under Aguilera. That's a 36, and that's a strikeout. So Aguilera gets the job done. Has a slight hiccup there with the Raines at bat and the error, but nothing doing. No runs, a hit, 1 error, and 1 left at the end of half of an inning. It is Montreal nothing, and the Mets coming to bat. And for the Mets, it'll be Dykstra, Backman, Hernandez, Carter, Strawberry, Mitchell, Knight, Santana, and Aguilera against Bob Sebra, who is a 2.7 and his SR rating starts as a 12. Yeah, Tim, I'm just reading what the chart says on number 65. That's what it says. Shortstop bobbles throw, runner safe, error, no stolen base credit given. That's exactly verbatim what's on that chart. All right, here's Lenny Dykstra against Sebra to start the bottom of the first. We get a 7, so we're under Sebra because he is a PB27. That's a 76, so that's going to be an out. Dykstra is a left normal, which means he pops it up to second. 1 away as Law puts it away. Here's Wally Backman. We get a 3, so we're under Sebra. 78 again, it's out. He switched normal. Ground ball to second, so again, Law has a chance. This is an error chance, though. And we'll see if there's an error. It is none. So Law makes the play, 2 down. And I do like to remove the discard pile just to kind of clear up some space. So 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up Keith Hernandez, borderline Hall of Famer. I'm sure RJL would tell you he is not a borderline Hall of Famer, and he should be in the Hall of Fame. And I can't argue it either way. I wouldn't be opposed to him being in, but I don't think it's mandatory that he's in because there's other people that also need to get in as well. But that's the fun of the debate, I guess. But with all his gold gloves and whatnot, and I don't remember all his statistics, but he's definitely in the Hall of Very Good. I don't know about the Hall of Fame, but he's definitely the Hall of Very Good. 4, we're under Sebra. 18, that's a base hit, and we don't check for an error when it's off the pitcher card. So it's just going to be a 2-out single. So the Mets say if you can get 2-out singles, we can get 2-out singles. And Keith Hernandez did just that. 2-out single. And we move Sebra down to an 11 for his SR rating. And that's going to bring up Gary Carter, the kid. Sebra to 10, so under Carter. 34. Carter, 34, unfortunately for him, is a strikeout. So Gary Carter whiffs to end the bottom of the first. Mets go down quietly at the end of one, no score from Shea Stadium. And we go to the top of the second. Top of the second. And it'll be Tim Eli Wallach, the batter, against Aguilera. That's a 7, so Aguilera only goes to a 6 or under Wallach. Wallach controls the at-bat to 54, so it doesn't really matter. He's going to be out either way. He's a right-handed power hitter. And he's going to line it to third. So lines it right at Ray Knight, but Knight makes the play. One down. And now one of the more interesting names in baseball history, Wayne Krenchicki. Krenchicki playing first base today in this one. Hello, Beatles. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Hope you were doing well and enjoying part of your Saturday afternoon with me. I certainly appreciate you spending time here. All right, so Krenchicki. 5 were under Aguilera, so we stay under Aguilera. But it's an 11, and that's an infield hit. Now, had Krenchicki been a right-handed hitter, that 11 would have turned into a strikeout. The variable lefty-righty factor is right at the bottom right-hand corner of this board. Righty versus righty, and 11's a strikeout, but not a lefty versus righty. Since Krenchicki's a lefty, he will get the base hit and keep it, and there won't be any problem. So Wayne Krenchicki gets himself an infield single, a one-out infield single, and will drop Aguilera down to an 11. Krenchicki no threat to run, so he's definitely not thinking about anything. Hello, Brandon. How are you? And now we have Vance Law to 3, so under Aguilera. 53, it's in the out range, and Law is a right normal. Maybe they can turn 2 here. They are halfway, but it's a fly to center, so that's irrelevant there. Put away out there by Dykstra, 2 down. And that brings up the catcher, Tom Nieto, against Aguilera. 7, so we're under Nieto. 73, though, is going to be an out. He's a right normal. Ground ball to first, that's Keith Hernandez. We check for an error. There is none, and Hernandez makes the play to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Expos in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score from Shea Stadium. Thanks to all who are stopping by and spending part of their Saturday with me. All right, Darryl Strawberry, the straw man, leads things off for the Mets against Sebra. We get a 9, so under Strawberry. 63 is going to be a walk. So first walk issued by either pitcher, and Strawberry, the beneficiary, drops Sebra to a 10. Strawberry has a speed of A, so he's gonna be looking to run. They're gonna try it again. Work for the Expos. They'll try it again. The catcher, Tom Nieto. Look at his throw rating. He is a TB. Second highest you can have is TB. So Strawberry going to get the jump, and here he goes. That's an 18. 18 says any runner rated speed of A, B, or C will get the stolen base. Strawberry's an A, so he definitely gets the stolen base. So he's into scoring position with nobody out for Kevin Mitchell playing left field. 6 are under Sebra. 51 is an out. Mitchell is a right-handed power hitter. Right-handed power hitter grounds to third. That is Wallach. We check for an error. There is none. And the runner has to hold with the ball hit to third, I do believe. But I'll check the charts because the charts tell you the whole story. I won't assume anything. I will go by what the charts tell me. As I get out the chart with the runner on second. Man on second. All right, man on second. G5. Ground to first, runner hold. There is no provision for a fast runner to move up, so Strawberry has to hold. Mitchell is retired. And that brings up Ray Knight. Maybe more commonly or famously known for being the one-time spouse of Nancy Lopez. All right, here is Sebra with 1 out. Clutch defense. There is a runner on base, so clutch defense is in effect. Let's see who the check is going to be on. It is going to be on the second baseman, Law. So we'll check Law. His clutch defensive rating for Vance Law is a 0. So we got the clutch defensive charts up here again. Can't really see it, but under CD0, we'll see if anything happens. It's a 66. Clutch defense 0 says no action occurs, return to normal play. All right, so nothing happening. Almost like a inside pitch strategy roll where nothing happens. It's kind of the same vein. So we start over again. 3, we're under Sebra. 57, that's an out. Right normal. Right normal pops to short, so Ray Knight will pop to short for out number 2. 2 down, and that brings up Santana, and here is the strategy quandary right here with the pitcher on deck and first base open. Do you walk Santana and pitch to Aguilera, or do you try to get Santana out, who's not a very good hitter, and force Aguilera to lead off the next inning? Different philosophies on that. I think with the weak number 8 hitter, we're going to pitch to him. So Sebra will deliver. That's a 5. We're under Sebra. 26, and he struck him out. So the strategy paid off, and that will force Aguilera to lead off the 3rd inning. So at the end of 2, no score from Shea Stadium. And actually with the 2 pitchers involved, I thought we'd have a lot more offense than this, but it's still early. Only been 2 innings. All right. After this inning here, we'll be shuffling the deck, flipping the deck and shuffling it. Right now, the pitcher, Bob Sebra, and then on this 86 card set I have, all the pitchers, all the main starting pitchers have their, and a lot of the relief pitchers as well, have their own hitting cards. So Bob Sebra's got his own hitting card. We're not using generic ones. So Aguilera. Clutch defense, nobody's on base, so we skip it. 8 means we'll go to Sebra's card. 21, and how about that? Sebra's going to get himself a base hit. And since it's off the batter card, we check for the error on Strawberry. There is none, but it's a leadoff single by the pitcher, Bob Sebra. Go figure. Bob Sebra, of course, he's not going to go anywhere as far as trying to steal or anything. Sacrifice bunt, Foley's only a double C, not very good. So I think they'll have him swing away. Aguilera, 10, so we're under Foley. 71 is an out, left normal. Left normal is a G6A, which means the runner is going to advance. On a G6A, the runners do advance, but there is an asterisk, so we're checking the error on Santana, and there is none. But the runner does move up, so it acted like a sacrifice. And there is one away for Mitch Webster. Mitch Webster, and I think I forgot to reduce Aguilera on the base hit by Sebra, so let's do that before I forget. All right, here is Mitch Webster. Clutch defense, it's in play because the runner's on base. The check is on the pitcher. Clutch defense on the pitcher, Aguilera, but he is also a CD0. Let's see if anything happens. It's an 88, so definitely nothing's going to happen on that, so ignore it and move on. Go to Mitch Webster again. 9, we're under Webster this time. 63, he is out, switch normal. Ground ball to short, there is an asterisk. We check the error chances of Foley, and there is none. So on the G6, I'm almost positive the runner's going to have to hold here. I can't see him moving up at all. He does not, particularly a pitcher. So there's 2 away. 2 down, and it's Tim Raines. Rock Raines still has a chance. 12, we're under Raines. 22, and Raines gets himself a base hit to left field. I'm sorry, to center field. So the question is, 1, is there an error? And 2, can the runner score? Let's look at the chart. Runner on second. Actually, not look at the chart. Let's look at the chart over here. Here's where the advancing on base hits chart is. The base hit went to center field, so we're checking the arm rating of Dykstra, who is a T3, which means we're using this column here on second to home single to any outfield as a T3. Look at the OBR of the base runner. That OBR is Sebra. And unfortunately for Sebra, he is actually he's a C, so it's not too bad. OBR C. So we cross-reference this. OBR C to a T3 is 11 through 46. But when there are 2 outs, you add 20 to the safe chance. So that becomes 11 to 66. So an 11 to 66 on a random number, he will score and be safe. But before we check that, we have to check an error because the base hit came off Raines' card. So we're checking for an error. There is none. So now we check to see if Sebra can score. He's rounding third, heading for home. Carter waiting for the throw. To 15, he's going to make it. So Sebra will score. And the Rock Raines has an RBI single, and the Expos lead it 1-0. So 1-0. Raines might be looking to run again. He's an A, so they're going to try it with 2 outs. It's a 85, and that says runner cannot get jump. So move on and continue with the at-bat of the next batter, which is Andre Dawson, the Hawk. Aguilera, 8. We're under Dawson. 46 for Dawson is a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So Aguilera gets out of it, but not before Raines drives into pitcher Sebra. And it was that base hit to Sebra that cost him the run, more so than the Raines single, because Sebra realistically should not have even been on base. Cardinal sin giving up a hit to the opposing pitcher. So bottom of the third we go. It's the Expos 1 and the Mets 0. And speaking of the pitchers, Rick Aguilera will now hit against Sebra. It's a 6 or under Sebra. 86, so that's going to be an out. He's the pitcher, so we go over here, but everything is an F3. So the pitcher has his own out sequence on most chances, but this one's just a pop to first. And Krenchicki puts it away, 1 down. Back to the top of the order for Lenny Dykstra. That's a 3. We're under Sebra. 54, that's an out. He's a left normal. Left normal grounds it back to Sebra. He's got an E0, so he cannot make an error, so there's no need to check for an error on that. And there's quickly 2 away for Wally Backman. 10, we're under Backman this time. 33 for Backman, and that is a base hit to right field. We check for an error. There is none, but it's a 2-out single for Wally Backman. Don't know if he's much of a threat to run. We'll see. His OBR is an A, but his speed is only a C. So you could be taking a chance. But you know what? To get a runner in scoring position, I think they're going to take that chance. They're going to send Backman. It's an 86, so he can't get the jump. So it's irrelevant. All right, so now it's up to Keith Hernandez. And with that hit, we drop Sebra down to a 9. So Keith Hernandez with 2 outs and Backman at first base. We're under 7, which is under Sebra. 74, that's an out. Left normal. Ground ball to short, that is to Foley. But there is an error check on Foley, so we'll see if Foley makes an error. He does not, and the inning is over. So Sebra pitches 3 shutout frames. And at the end of 3, it is Expos 1 and the Mets 0. And now we will take all the cards, flip them over, and do some shuffling in between innings to get the randomness. Keep that in play. Just doing the old shuffle. And boy, this brings back memories on its own, just having to shuffle these fast action cards. And I know games like Payoff Pitch and whatnot have fast action cards now as well, but to me, when I think of fast action cards, this is the game that comes to my mind just because of my history with it. So we go to the top of the 4th. And leading off will be Tim Wallach against Aguilera. It's a Z, so we got an unusual play. Let's bring up the unusual play chart. There is a chart for unusual plays. It could involve fielding, could involve injuries, or it could involve something unusual. That's why it's called unusual when you get that Z result. So let's see what the unusual is. It's an 85. That is an injury check. When you go to 81 to 88, it's consult injury chart. So come down here to the injury chart, and let's see what the random number produces. 15. So 15 on the random. Second baseman runs into right field wall chasing the foul. Use injury factor. Batter still at bat. So the second baseman, Wally Backman, has crashed into the wall in the right field, down the right field foul line, chasing a pop-up. So we're going to see if he's going to be injured. He's an injury factor of 5. So we come to our chart for an injury factor of 5. Look over here, injury factor of 5. We're going to add both random numbers together. So obviously that means he's going to be out of the game. We're not worried about how many games he would miss or whatever because it's not a season. But he is going to have to leave the game due to injury. So he will have to leave, and Tim Tuffle will take over at second base for the Mets. So Backman, he is out of there. He cannot continue. And Tim Tuffle will be coming on for the Mets, taking over at second base. All right. Backman is done. All right, Wallach is still at bat with a no ball, 1 strike count. Pick it back up. 9, we're under Wallach. 66 is an out. He's a right-handed power hitter, which means he flies to deep left field. We're checking the error check on Mitchell right at the warning track, and Mitchell makes the catch. 1 down. So Kevin Mitchell makes that play. 1 away for Wayne Krenchicki. Krenchicki reached his first time. It's an 8. He gets to control again. 52 is out of range, though. Left normal will line it right to the new second baseman, Tuffle. Tell you what, when you bring a new player in the game, the ball just seems to find him on defense for whatever reason, and it did there. So 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up Vance Law. 9, we're under Law. 46 is a right normal, and that is a ground ball to third, so we're checking Ray Knight for an error, and there is none, so Ray Knight makes the play, and the inning's over. So no damage done there, other than they lost Backman for the rest of the game, but no runs damage is done. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 1-0 favor of Les Expos. And the kid, Gary Carter, stepping to the plate. That's a 9, so we're under Carter. 28, that's a home run. Kaboom, right there. You could say it, RJL. Home run on a 28, and that's a 28. It is gone. Gary Carter has just tied the ball game. And also, as RJL would say, stadium cheers. But I can't do the yay the way he does it. So use your memory of him doing that for this one. We are tied at a run apiece. And now the straw man steps to the plate. Maybe they got Sebra on the ropes here, 2nd time through the order. 10, we're under Strawberry. 23, that is a triple. That is the 1 number on his card, which produces a triple. It is 23, and he found it. So Darryl Strawberry, how about that? A triple. Following the home run, we get a triple from Strawberry, and Sebra's in deep trouble. Still nobody out. And here's Kevin Mitchell. Infield's going to play back. They want to prevent the big inning. They'll give up a run if they can just keep it at 2 runs and shut everything else down because there's nobody out. All right, here's Sebra. Clutch defense. This could be important. Clutch defense is the 3rd baseman, Wallach. So we're checking Wallach for his clutch defensive rating. And Wallach, on a clutch defensive check, is a 1. So he's got a CD of 1. Flipping it a random number, that's a 37. CD 137 says, line out the fielder, lead runner doubled off base for a double play. Wow. How do you like that? They line it right to Wallach. He snags it, catches Strawberry too far off the bag at 3rd, and it is a double play. Boy, talk about getting him out of a jam right there. Clutch defense for Tim Wallach. So here's now Kevin Mitchell as the fans applaud that effort by Wallach. 6, we're under Sebra. 11, that would be an infield single, but again, on the left-right split, the 11 turns into a strikeout on a righty versus righty matchup, so it is a strikeout, and the inning is over. So the Mets get the 1 run, but that was it on the Carter homer. We go to the 5th. It is tied up at 1 apiece here from Shea Stadium. Coming up for the Expos, it'll be Nieto. Nieto followed by the pitcher Sebra and Foley. 4 are under Aguilera. 21 against Aguilera is a base hit to right field by Tom Nieto. When it's off the pitcher card, you don't have to check for an error, so we don't worry about that. But what it does do is allow Sebra to bunt as the pitcher, but his sacrifice bunt rating is really, really bad, but you don't know that going into the season, so I'm going to play this the way the manager would normally play it, and that is, by default, you bunt with the pitcher. So we're going to bunt. He is a DD bunt rating, so we go to our sacrifice bunt chart, which is up here. Can't really see it. It's up above the home reduction. DD, you can't have any worse than a DD, so even if you figure you're playing the corners in to make them an EE, there is no EE. DD is the lowest you can have. So we get a random number, 82, and 82 says batter fouls out the catcher, runner holds. So it's a foul out. to Carter, and Sebra is retired as he fails to get the sacrifice bunt down and help his own cause. So back to the top of the order for Tom Foley. 7 were under Foley. 73, he is out with a left normal chance. Left normal was a fly to right. Strawberry makes the play, 2 down. So 2 down, and that brings up Mitch Webster. BD, clutch batting chance for Webster. Clutch batting rating, but his BD rating is a 0, so we'll see if anything happens. It's a 46 on a BD 0. Nope, no action occurs, return to normal play. So had he been a BD of 2, that would have been a home run, but not on a BD 0. So Mitch Webster gets to bat again. 4 is under Aguilera. 68 is an out. He's a switch normal. Everybody grounds in front of the plate to Carter, but we are checking for an error on Carter. There is none, and Carter will make the play 2-3 to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Expos. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 1-1. And Ray Knight will lead off for the Mets, followed by Santana and Aguilera. Again, appreciate everybody tuning in, spending part of your Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon with me, depending on what part of the country you're in. Here on the East Coast, it is in the afternoon. All right, here's Ray Knight against Sebra. 5, we're under Sebra. 16, no, that's a base hit. So Ray Knight gets the base hit off of Sebra, fights that tough pitch off. And Ray Knight, there is no error check when it's off the pitcher, so we just put Knight there. But Sebra is now down to a 5. So could see some bullpen activity coming up pretty quickly. Santana is your batter. 10, we're under Santana. 63, he's out, right normal. That's a fly to left, 1 down as Tim Raines puts it away. 1 away, and that brings up the pitcher Aguilera. And you might as well bunt him with 2 out. Even though there's already 1 out, I think you're going to bunt him anyway because he's a horrible hitter. So we're going to do a sac bunt. He is a CC. And that is a 55 on the sacrifice bunt chart. Sacrifice bunt chart 55. Lead runner tagged out. Catcher to lead base. How about that? So it's going to be a fielder's choice. He could not get the bunt down as Nieto just pounced out of there. And they get the force play. And I don't think I have a little runner for Aguilera. I thought I did, but apparently I don't. If I did, I can't find him. So we'll just put somebody else there for now. But there is 2 outs. And they erase the lead base runner. And it's going to bring up Dykstra, top of the order. 8, we're under Dykstra. 86, though, is an out. For a lefty, you have to have an 87 or an 88 on the left-right split, but 86 does not fit that, so it is going to stay an out. He's a left normal, which is a pop to first to end the inning. Krenchicki puts it away, and down go the Mets pretty quietly here in the 5th. So we go to the 6th, and we'll shuffle again and flip them after the end of this inning. 6th inning coming up, tied at 1 apiece. Hope everybody's having a relaxing Saturday afternoon or morning or wherever you are if you're watching it later, whatever day you happen to be watching it. All right. And just make an announcement. Either probably on Monday or probably it's going to be Tuesday of this week. It'll be the start of the second half of Stratamac Demolition League 2015 as we begin Series 10. And to speed things along, I'll only do maybe 2 videos a series instead of doing all 5. So the 2 games that are selected for Series 10, it'll be the Cincinnati Reds traveling to the Boston Red Sox at Fenway, and then Tampa Bay will be traveling to Philadelphia. So Tampa against Philly in the second game, and which will probably be on like a Thursday. And probably on Tuesday, you're looking at Cincinnati at Boston. I'll also, before the Cincinnati-Boston game, give a complete standings check and tell you all the records for all the teams and how they're doing, any injury updates, and roster acquisitions where they, call-ups and whatnot. So there have been some call-ups. Second half of the season, you want to get those guys that were traded and so forth. So the Mets will get a boost, obviously. They're going to have Michael Conforto and Jonas Cespedes will be joining the team to help the cause. And so maybe that will help them out because right now I believe they're in 4th place behind the Red Hot Indians, the Red Hot Reds, and the Red Sox. All 3 of those, I believe, are higher than them without having it in front of me. But yeah, so that's going to be the situation on Tuesday. It'll be the Red Sox and the Reds. Thursday will be the Rays and the Phillies. And then on Friday, of course, back to fictional Friday, it'll be revenge time, perhaps, for the New England Minutemen, as Steve Towers' New England Minutemen will try to avenge a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Bees in Buffalo. They get the friendly confines of Biddy Bear Park, and it will be Fernando De La Rosa on the mound for the Minutemen against Steve Show of the Bees. So ace versus ace in that one. That'll be on Friday for fictional Friday. And then again on Saturday, it's inside pitch, Dodgers and the Reds. All right, so enough of that public service announcement. Let's get on with the game. Top of the 6th. The Rock, Tim Raines, stepping up against Aguilera. 10, we're under Raines. 16, that's a base hit, which since it's off the batter card, we check for an error. 9 to 10, but not going to be no outfielder has an error rating that high, so no error. But Raines is aboard again, and he's been a thorn in the side of the Mets, and of course he's looking to run again as well. So we'll do the random number for a stolen base. It's a 52. 52 says runner out stealing, catching second baseman. Didn't matter about the ratings, he just caught stealing. So Tim Raines tried it and was caught, and there's one away. Big out there. Nice throw by Carter. This time Santana was able to hold onto the ball and apply the tag for the out. So here's the Hawk, Andre Dawson. 4, we're under Aguilera. 44. 44 is a pass ball, but nobody's on base, so simply ignore it and move on and start again. 11, this time we're under Dawson. 58 is going to be an out. Right-handed power hitter will ground to short. We're checking the error on Santana. There is none, and that's out number 2. And you kind of get in a rhythm on flipping these cards. It brings back a lot of memories, I can tell you that. One of these days I might do a season replay with Status Pro just to check the accuracy of the things. I've done it with Inside Pitch. I've done it with Stratomatic and History Maker. I need to do it with Payoff Pitch and Status Pro. So I may do that at some point down the road. Once I don't want to get into too many projects because I'll never finish any of them if I do. So, and I really want to finish these projects. All right, 2 down. Tim Wallach, the batter. Clutch defense, but nobody's on base, so we ignore it. 3, we go to Aguilera. 53, that's an out. Right-handed power hitter. And that's a deep fly to left, but hauled in there by Kevin Mitchell. And the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 1-1. I had no idea we'd get a pitching duel like this. I thought with these 2 pitchers we'd get runs all over the place, but not the case. All right, bottom of the 6th, and the new second baseman, Tim Tuffle, will get his first at-bat. It's an 8, so we're under control of Tuffle. 58, he's going to be out, right normal. Grounds to short. Check for an error for Foley, and there is none, so 1 away. Tuffle is retired. That brings up Keith Hernandez. Clutch defense, but nobody's on base, so ignore it. 12, we're under Hernandez. 11, that's an infield single. He's a lefty versus a righty. There is no strikeout on that. That's a straight-out infield single. We drop Sebra to a 4, so bullpen activity for the Expos as right-hander Andy McGaffigan loosening for the Expos just in case Sebra starts to falter. Gary Carter is up, and he has accounted for the only Mets run with his home run. So Sebra has to be careful. 7, we're under Sebra, so it won't be a home run for sure. 46 is actually going to be an out. Right-handed power hitter. Lines it to short for out number 2. So Foley snags it, 2 down. Carter is retired. And that brings up the straw man, Darryl Strawberry. Z, so we got another unusual play. And we get an 82. So an unusual play 82. We consult the fielding chart. And that's the Z play fielding chart is right here. So we look at another random number, and that is a 62. So 62 says difficult fly to left. E0 or E1 in left field, the batter is out, runners hold. E2 to E10 in left field to double to left, runner scores. All right, left fielder Tim Raines. His error rating is a 3. So this says if he is a 2 through 10, it's a double to left field and runner scores. So it's a double. Hernandez will score. Strawberry an RBI double. And the Mets take a 2-1 lead as the Raines couldn't quite get to it. It drops for a double, 2-out double. Scores the run. Mets now lead it 2-1. And that brings up Kevin Mitchell. Sebra trying to hang in there. He's down to a 2 for his starting rating. Hello, Justin. How are you? Good to see you here. And, of course, with the Mets scoring that run on the double by Strawberry, it's the stadium cheers. And here is Kevin Mitchell. 9, we're under Mitchell. 61, it's going to be an out. Right-handed power hitter. Grounds to second, but there's an error check on Law. And there is no error, so the inning's over. But the double by Strawberry gives the Mets a 2-1 lead as we complete 6 innings of play here at Shea Stadium. And with the completion of 6 innings of play, we flip the deck over and we will shuffle. It's not the icky shuffle, but it's a shuffle nonetheless. And I think it's going to be all for Sebra. He is scheduled to bat 4th this inning, so if anybody gets on for the Expos, they will pinch hit for Mr. Sebra. Aguilera is still going pretty good. He's got a starting rating of 6, so he's still in there pretty decently. And Aguilera is set to actually bat 3rd in the bottom half of the 7th, so they like to get him through 7 innings if at all possible and then turn it over to their bullpen. We'll see how it plays out. Yeah, it's like the old-timey stuff back then, Justin. I remember sitting in some of those old ballparks. In fact, I watched a game a long time ago at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore in the outfield and left field, and I was kind of behind one of those poles, so I know exactly what it is. I actually had to move. It wasn't that crowded, so I was able to get a better view. But, yeah, some of those seats were practically right behind one of those beams, and it wasn't anything fun for sure, I can tell you that. Not sure why they built the parks like that to begin with, but what are you going to do? All right. We go to the top of the 7th. It'll be Mr. Krenchicki stepping to the plate. Fresh stack of fast action cards. We got a 6, so we're under Aguilera. 64, that's an out. Krenchicki. Left normal will fly to deep right field, but Strawberry is there. 1 away. Brings up Vance Law. 7, we're under Law. 57, he's an out. Right normal, grounds to short, which I can Santana for an error. There is none. There's 2 down. So 2 away, and that brings up the catcher Nieto. Clutch defense, but nobody's on base, so we ignore it. 11, we're under Nieto. 26 for Nieto, struck him out. That's going to end the inning. So Aguilera, an impressive top of the 7th. Didn't give up anything. And now the question for the Expos is, you really want to take Sebra out. He is set to lead off next inning, but you've got enough bullpen guys and enough bench guys. You can either do a double switch, or they can just go ahead and let the guy pitch pitch 1 inning and be done with it. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to make the move to the bullpen. Bob Sebra's day is done, and they will bring in right-hander Andy McGaffigan. He is a 2.8 for his rating, and he's in there just to pitch the 7th inning. They will pinch hit for him when the inning is complete. But right now, McGaffigan, his relief rating is an 8. Hello, Old Man Music. Good to see you. Sunday night, Reds and Phillies. Joey J against Frank Sullivan. Joey J, I believe, was he had that one great, I think that 1 year in 61 in Cincinnati was his one breakout year. It might have been a 20-game winner, I'm not sure. But he was one of their better pitchers for sure. So be sure to tune in to RJL tomorrow night for that. And I'm sure he'll have some tales to tell from his trip to Miami to see the Mets and the Marlins. All right, so McGaffigan now, it's a 2-8, and he's going to be facing Knight, Santana, and a pinch hitter for Aguilera, because I think Aguilera's day is done. And already with the bat in his hand is Danny Heap. So Danny Heap will be the pinch hitter when we get to that far. Right now it is the flip, and McGaffigan is in control. 54, so that's an out. Right normal is a ground ball to short with an error chance. We go to Foley, no error, 1 away. So Ray Knight is retired. That will bring up Santana. McGaffigan, he's still in control. 26, that is a strikeout. So Santana is out of there. 2 down, and that'll bring up Danny Heap. He will be on to pinch hit for the Mets. So Danny Heap will get the call with 2 outs and the base is clear. Left-handed pinch hitting specialist Danny Heap. Flip is under McGaffigan, so it doesn't matter who the pinch hitter was. 83 is out, left normal. Pop to short, that's going to end the inning. So that was a very quick bottom of the 7th. McGaffigan did his job. And at the end of 7 completed is 2-1. And now we will get a new pitcher for the Mets as well. We need a new pitcher since the pitcher was just pinch hit for. Coming up for the Expos is a pinch hitter for McGaffigan, then Foley and Webster. Foley's a lefty, Webster's a switch. They don't really have a whole lot. Let's see who they want to go to here. I think in the 8th inning, they're going to go with Roger McDowell, lefty or righty notwithstanding. So Roger McDowell is kind of like their setup guy. So they're going to go to McDowell and save Orozco for the 9th. So McDowell will be on. And McDowell is a PB27. His relief rating is a 7. And now for the Expos, they need a pinch hitter from McGaffigan. And looking at their bench, they will go with, they got 3 switch hitters. They got Wallace Johnson, Alfred Newman, and George Wright. Who do they like better? None of them are very good, actually. Actually, the best one they have is Wallace Johnson. They call him Wally Johnson on here, but I think his actual name was Wallace Johnson. But he's going to be on as a pinch hitter here to start the 8th in a 1-0 ball game. Yeah, Kenny and the Bees. I thought they were going to lose last night, but got that home run near late in the game and just kept it going. They're now 12-4, and one more game in Milwaukee to finish out that series. Then they got that big one on the road in New England, taking on Steve Towers' Minutemen. And the first game in the series on the video will be Fernando De La Rosa time. So that should be fun. If Steve Tower, well, actually, I don't do him live because of the way I set it up. But if he wants to contact me and give me a starting lineup for his team, I'll be glad to implement that. If not, I'll just go with what I feel is best. All right, so Wallace Johnson will lead it off here against McDowell, who's a PB27. That is a 7, so under McDowell. But it's a 13, so that's a base hit for Wallace Johnson, a pinch hit single. Pinch hit single for Wallace Johnson. And the Mets have the leadoff man on for Tom Foley. Now Orozco loosening the bullpen for the Mets pretty quickly. Not going to let McDowell struggle too much, I don't believe. It's an 8. We're under Foley. That is an 87. That would normally be an out, but again, right-hander on the mound, left-hander at the plate. 87 is a single, and runner advances 2 bases. So the lefty-righty split comes up to bite the Mets right here. That puts runners at the corners with nobody out. And Mitch Webster, the batter. I don't know, RJL, do you want to bring in Orozco, or are we going to stick with McDowell? He only faced 2 batters, so you're hoping maybe he can turn it around. We'll see. They could play back for the double play to try to turn 2, or they could play in to try to choke the runoff. There is nobody out, and you want to avoid the big inning. So I'm assuming, would you play the infield in, or would you play halfway for a double play and allow the tying run to prevent a big inning, or would you take a chance and try to choke the runoff? Play back for the double play. You got it. All right, so Mitch Webster. Mitch Webster is your batter. See if McDowell can get something off his card. He does. It's a 2, so we're off McDowell. It's a 53. It's an out. Mitch Webster switch normal. Switch normal is a fly to left field. So let's check the chart, see if it's a sacrifice fly or not. We'll check the runners on the corner chart. Men on first and third out chart. Men on first and third out chart. And F7. Fly out to left field. Runner holds. OBRA. Runner on third scores. Wallace Johnson. Wallace Johnson. His OBR is only a B, so it's not deep enough to score the run. It's an out. And the runner has to stay put. Wasn't quite deep enough. And Johnson just doesn't have the speed quite enough to get there. So big out there for McDowell, and now he's got to face the tough Tim Raines, who he's been a thorn in their side the whole game. But a double play does get him out of the inning. That's the one bright spot. So here's Tim Raines, McDowell, 9, we're under Raines, 83, that's an out, switch normal. It's a pop to second, infield fly rule, 2 down. And McDowell 1 out away from getting out of this, but he's got to face the dangerous Hawk, Andre Dawson. Still 2 on and 2 outs now. McDowell, 3, we're under McDowell. 37, that's a walk, and that will load the bases. So now the bases are loaded for Tim Wallach. Bases loaded for Tim Wallach. And I think RGL says righty and righty, probably you want to stick with McDowell, not bringing Orozco yet. So we're going to stick with McDowell, one more chance. Before I flip, I'm going to make sure RJL is in agreement with that we stick with McDowell and his PB27 and give him a chance to get out of the inning and save Orozco for the 9th. Does that sound like a good plan to you, Mr. Robert? Or do you want to go against the odds and bring the lefty in? Keep McDowell, you got it. All right. Wallach the batter. Flip. Clutch defense. And it's a third baseman, Ray Knight. Ray Knight's clutch defensive rating is a 0. So we go to the 0 clutch defensive rating chart. We get an 84, so nothing happens. So we reboot. Wallach steps back in. A 5, we're under McDowell. 67, that's an out. Right power hitter will fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So McDowell gets out of it unscathed. And that sets it up for the 9th for Orozco. Expos leave the bases loaded. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. And we need a new pitcher for the Expos. And let's see who that's going to be. They've already used McGaffigan. So let's see who's coming up for the Mets. We've got Dykstra. So they're going to go to a lefty, Bob McClure. Bob McClure, the lefty. Because you got Dykstra a lefty, Tuffle a righty, and Hernandez a lefty. So 2 lefties and a righty will necessitate that change. So Bob McClure is on to pitch for the Expos here in the bottom of the 8th. McClure is a relief rating of 7, and he's also a PB27. And he'll be facing the top of the order, Dykstra, Tuffle, and Hernandez. All right, Dykstra, lefty on lefty against McClure. That's a 4, so we're under McClure. That's a 68. That is an out, left normal. Ground ball right back to McClure. His error rating is an 8. But there is no error. McClure makes the play, 1 away. And Dykstra is retired. That brings up Tim Tuffle against McClure. 8, so we're under Tuffle. 27, and that's a double for Tim Tuffle. Double to right field. There is no error check, or there is no error on the play, I should say. We did have to check it because it was off the batter card. But Tim Tuffle making an impact after coming into the game for the injured Backman. He gets a 1-out double. And now Mets now with a chance to add an insurance run with Keith Hernandez. Tim Burke is ready to go in the Expo bullpen because I think with Carter coming up, they may go ahead and make the move after this at bat. We shall see. McClure, a 3. 54, that's an out. Left normal is a ground ball back to McClure. He's an E8 again. Check for the error. There is none. 2 down, and we'll check the run situation on a runner on second and a ground ball to first. I think he has to hold. It says OBRA runner goes to third. I don't believe Tuffle's an OBRA. He's actually an OBRC, so he will have to hold. So 2 down. Now the question is, you got multiple options. You could walk Gary Carter intentionally and pitch to Strawberry, or you could bring the right-hander Tim Burke in to face Carter. Carter does have the home run that produced the run, the first run of the game for the Mets. Then Strawberry did have that big triple, but of course he got doubled off after that. So depends on how you want to pick your poison here. That's why the managers get paid the big bucks. So they're going to make the move to the bullpen. They're going to pull Bob McClure and bring in Tim Burke. Right-hander Tim Burke. He's also a 2.7, and his relief rating is a 7. He will be on to face Gary Carter. It's his one job to get Gary Carter out. Tim Burke will be on to face Carter with 2 outs and Tuffle at second. The flip, it's a 7, so we're under Burke. It's an 82. That's going to be an out. Gary Carter, right-handed power hitter, grounds to third. There is an error check. 4-10. Let's see about Wallach's error rating. Wallach's is an E4, so it is an error. It is an error because that's a 4-10, and he's an E4. So it will be an error. So let's check the runner on second base. Man on second with an error check. Well, first of all, we've got to figure out what kind of error it is. We flip the new card and see if we get an error 1, 2, or 3. And on this, it says the third baseman is an error 1. So we come over here to error 1. It says ground ball through the infielder's legs, batter safe. Runner to third. OBRA runner on second scores if 2 men are out. But again, he's not an OBRA, so he will have to stop at third. But it is going to get through for an error. Went right through the wickets. That's definitely not the norm for the shore fielding Tim Wallach. Of course, he made that great double play earlier, but this one went right through the old wickets. And now that puts runners on the corners with 2 outs for Darryl Strawberry. No more lefties in the bullpen for the Expos, so it's Tim Burke or bust here against Strawberry. I don't think you're going to walk the bases loaded and pitch to Mitchell. I think you're going to have to pitch to Strawberry here. Not really a whole bunch choices here. Let's see. Burke, 10, run to Strawberry. 45, struck him out. So Strawberry out on strikes to end the inning. And the Mets miss a golden opportunity to add to that lead. So nothing doing here in the 8th. We go to the 9th. Last chance for the Expos. And it will be Jesse Orozco coming on to pitch for the Mets. He is a PB29 with a relief rating of 6. As McDowell did his job. And we may get a double switch out of this as well because the pitcher spot is coming up 4th, and just in case they blow the lead, they may want to have somebody else up there possibly to do something, but it's kind of hard to double switch out of all these positions. I'm not sure which one you would double switch with at this point. I guess they're going to leave him in. They're going to not double switch. They're just going to leave Orozco in his normal spot. If he blows the lead, he's probably not going to pitch more than one inning anyway, so we will not double switch. We will stick with what we have. So Jesse Orozco, your new pitcher for the Mets, here to start the top of the 9th. Krenchicki is your scheduled hitter for the Expos, but he will be called back as a left-handed hitter. He's going to be called back, and Jim Wolford, a righty, will come on and pinch hit. So Jim Wolford will hit for Krenchicki. Mr. Wolford, and we'll figure out first base if they go to the bottom of the 9th. We'll figure it out. They've already used Wallace Johnson off the bench, but there's got to be somebody on there that can play first base. Vance Law can play first base, so we can shuffle it around if we have to. But right now, they're more interested in the offense, and that's Jim Wolford. And RJL has already put up a block dragon for 9th inning magic, so we'll see what happens here. Will we see 9th inning magic by the Expos? Top of the 9th, 2-1 Mets. Jim Wolford, the pinch hitter, against Orozco, who's a 2.9, best you can have. That's a 5, so we're under Orozco. 68, that's an out. Right-handed normal hitter. And that is a pop-up to Gary Carter, the catcher, 1 away. So easy out there. And Wolford is retired. That brings up Vance Law, another righty. We're under Orozco again. 31, and that's a strikeout. So Orozco puts the K on Vance Law. And Expos down to the last batter. That is Tom Nieto. Do you pinch hit for Nieto? There's not a whole lot left on the bench that's any good. Bill Ordello is pretty much a copy of that. Al Newman's not much better. So, I mean, Bill Ordello, if you want to use Bill Ordello, he's got a home run up to 23. Well, he's got a home run up through 22. So I guess they're going to go ahead and get that one extra number in there. They're going to go ahead and pinch hit with Bill Ordello. Pull out all the stops. So Bill Ordello will pinch hit with 2 outs. And the base is empty. Desperation time. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And the Expos are trying to see if they can get lightning in a bottle with Bill Ordello. He will homer at a 23. So that's one extra number for a base hit. And that's what they're counting on. Orozco gets the sign from Carter looking to end this thing in 3 up and 3 down fashion and avoid ninth inning magic. The flip is 7. We go to Orozco. 86. Now again, the lefty-righty split, but it only goes to 87 and 88. 86 does not qualify for that lefty-righty split, so that's going to be an out. So unless there's an error, the game is going to be over. So let's see what kind of out Bill Ordello has. Right normal. Right normal is a ground ball to short. It's Santana. As long as he doesn't bobble it or throw it away, the game is over. And it's over. That's it. Yogi says it's over. It's over. The Mets hold on and win it 2-1 against the Expos. Fine pitching by Aguilera, McDowell, and Orozco as they get the job done and defeat the Expos by the score of 2-1. Mets just keep doing it. Doesn't matter if they status pro, inside pitch, or now status pro. They're the Mets in 86. What can you say? Then that's why they won 100 games. Finally, a happy recap. Yes, indeed. Now, actually, I was not keeping score on the game. I was just playing this so I don't have any stats or anything. So it's not really that important anyway. It's just to get the game in. So a 2-1 final. The Mets win it 2-1. That's all that matters. Next week, again, next Saturday, it'll be back to inside pitch, my newly adopted favorite game. And it'll be the Los Angeles Dodgers with Fernando Valenzuela on the mound against the Cincinnati Reds. And I'm not sure off the top of my head who's pitching for Cincinnati. All right, so I do have it here, I think. Thought I did. In fact, I can tell you. Hold on. I can go look it up. Not that it's all that important, but let's see who it is that's actually... It is John Denny for the Reds against Fernando Valenzuela of the Dodgers. That's on inside pitch from Riverfront Stadium, or as RJL calls it, the Stadium by the River. And that will be the game next Saturday for the game of the week. I'll try to get next Saturday's game starting right at noon. I was a little bit behind this morning. Didn't get it started until about 12:15, but had some things I was trying to get accomplished this morning. And I wanted to make sure RJL was done with his morning time as well. So I kind of got behind watching his game as well instead of setting up my own game. That can happen sometimes because RJL is entertaining to watch for sure. All right, so that's going to do it from here. Like I said, tentatively scheduled for the week as far as videos go. It is scheduled to start or restart, if you want to call it that, the Demolition League, 2015 Stratomatic Demolition League. And the first game, it's just basically taking the Series 1 and flipping the home teams. So Cincinnati got the start, or got the first game, because the traditional opener in Cincinnati against the Red Sox. So now we flip it around, and we have the Reds and the Red Sox. They'll be going at it in Fenway. And then the Phillies just called up again. This is when you're in the starting the second half, you do call-ups. So they just call up this young pitcher that nobody's ever heard of by the name of Aaron Nola. He'll get the start for the Phillies against the Tampa Bay Rays from Citizens Bank Park. Phillies are in miserable condition as far as the standings go. Same with the Giants. They're both miserably near the bottom of the list. So I want to show them now so I don't have to show them later. Maybe that's the key there. Because I do want to still show them. I don't want to totally ignore them, but bringing in some of these young guys, I feel like it's a good time to show them. And then Series 11, we'll be showing the Mets. So don't worry, RJL, your Mets will be coming back in Series 11. Not sure they're going to play, but we'll figure it out. The important thing is that I want to get all the teams in there and get this thing rolling again. I was on a good roll, but then once I got with the history maker stuff and everything else, it kind of bogged me down a little bit. I wanted to get Series 9 and get to that halfway point, which we now are at. 27 games in, 27 games to go. And Series 10 will start off, and I'll have, like I said, I've already printed off the standings and things like that, and I'll go over the statistical leaders, like the league leader in hits and stuff like that, batting average and pitching leaders and so forth. So get ready. That will get things going for the start of Series 10 and the second half of the season. So my plan is either Monday and a Wednesday or a Tuesday and a Thursday. I'm not sure which. First game, Cincinnati at Boston. Second game, the next couple days will be Tampa at Philadelphia. And then on Friday, it is back to Fictional Friday as we travel to Biddy Bear Park, well known because of Steve Tower, Biddy Bear Park and the New England Minutemen, as the Bees take on Fernando de la Rosa and the Minutemen. And then on Saturday, we wrap it up with Inside Pitch, Dodgers and the Reds, Fernando Valenzuela against John Denny. So that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody has a wonderful Saturday, the rest of your Saturday. I know RJL will when he's going to Miami to see the game against the Mets. So hopefully safe travels there, Robert, and enjoy the game. Tell us all about it. I'll be following it online to see how the Mets are doing. Everybody else, hope you enjoy your Saturday and get ready for whatever you got planned for the weekend. I know I got to go out and cut the grass. That's my plan today. Now I'm going to go out and cut the grass. We had a lot of rain here yesterday, so I had to wait for the grass to dry out. But today is the first day in 13 days that's less than 90 degrees, and the humidity's a little bit down, so it's a perfect day to do it. It's like low 80s with, there's still some humidity, but not too bad. So today is the best day to try to get that done. I'm trying to do it after work in the evening. A, I'm tired and I don't really feel like it, and B, we're dodging thunderstorms seems like every afternoon. So this is the time to do it. Won't take me long, about an hour and a half to get it done, but I want to get this game done first, and then I can worry about my chores later. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Again, the final score, Mets hold on and beat the Expos by the score of 2-1 here in Statis Pro. Next Saturday, Inside Pitch comes back on the forefront, and it's the Dodgers and the Reds, Fernando Valenzuela against John Denny. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.